Two. Hello, everybody. It's Joe, and we're back with Paul Letko from Few, and
Hey,
we're
Joe.
talking about some of these amazing spirits. And I'm so. First of all, thank you very much for joining us. Truly appreciate you taking time. I know it's a busy schedule over there, but I appreciate you taking the time.
We always got time for friends, Joe.
Thank you. All right, guys. This one, I have another story on this one. So about November last year, someone said, hey, you want to taste a flavored whiskey or cold cut? That's this guy. So I said, sure. So I tasted it. I put the glass down and I said, that wasn't for me. And I left and got 10 people doing a tasting. And I walk back in and everybody is like, oh, this is the best stuff since sliced bread. And I'm like, what am I doing? So I guess I'm a bad taster, Paul, because I thought, I just did it too quick. The depth on this guy, by the way, for my Lucas family, #1 in the world, World Whiskey Award winners, 2020. This is the best flavored whiskey. And I want to be careful when it says flavored whiskey. It's an interesting category. And Paul, I'm going to let you talk about that because I don't necessarily deem this to be a flavored whiskey. But while I pour my glass, can you give us an education on this incredible world-class whiskey?
Sure. So just like you said, Joe, it did just win best flavored whiskey on the planet. And I totally agree with you as well that it's a little bit weird to call it a flavored whiskey. What it really is, actually by law, it's actually not a flavored whiskey. According to the U.S. government, it's a distilled spirit specialty, which now we're starting to get a little esoteric. But what it really is our cask strength bourbon brought down to bottling strength with cold brew coffee. That's it. There's no chemicals. There's no artificial flavorings. There's no sugar. There's no chemicals that you can't pronounce. There's nothing you wouldn't serve to your own mother, if you like your mother. There's nothing in there to be ashamed of. But because it's got this coffee in there, it's no longer just bourbon whiskey. So if you look at the label, what it says is exactly what it is. Bourbon whiskey with cold brew coffee. That's precisely and 100% what it actually is. And what I think is interesting about it is that it really kind of ebbs and flows as you drink it. And so your first sip, you get all bourbon, maybe a little bit of kind of some neat, kind of nutty, chocolatey flavors, but I think a little bit subtle. Your second sip, that nutty chocolate coffee flavor starts coming way to the forefront. And by the time you have your third or fourth sip, you're looking at, oh, there's so much coffee on that. But then that starts to wane away, and now the whiskey comes back in. And so what I find with the Few Cold Cut is that you get all that great whiskey flavor you want. I think the cold brew cuts some of the bite of the alcohol, but it's still 93 proof. It's 46.5% alcohol. It's a real whiskey. This is not some 60, 70 proof sugared up liqueur masquerading as a whiskey. What we got here is a real whiskey, just with some coffee in it. And I think it's a really neat product that I think can be overlooked because of people's bias against, I don't drink flavored whiskey. Now you do now. And it's delicious. And I just think that's kind of the big key is it's not gimmicky, it's balanced, it's a great product. And I think it really helps to expand the definition of what this overall whiskey category can be. It's not dumbed down. It's just delicious.
It's funny that you say that, not overlooked. By the way, I'm guilty. But I want to take that back, and I want people to really do this one. This is another one that is off the charts. And again, anytime I see the World Whiskey Award winners, what I do is I really slow down and I try and taste each one of these because I really believe, why did this one win? World Whiskey Award is all done blind tasted. So this is the big guy, right? Why did this guy win? And, I'm blessed enough to have so many people around me to say, Joe, are you sure? Did you make it? And then I go back and I try it. and we've been selling this one since November because I was a knucklehead in the beginning. Because when you drink it, I'm like, but 3-4 sips. This has so much depth and beautiful, and the only difference between this and the bourbon is the cold brew, correct?
Correct.
So think of this, because the bourbon's amazing, all right? But we're going to be limited on the cold cut, correct?
At least for now. Again, it's another one where we're trying to figure out, how to make sure that we get it to the right places so that, it's another product. You're only going to find that one at the best of the best, which is why you find it at Lucas.
Guys, it's flipping delicious. That's it. I don't know how to make the descriptions anymore because when I drink stuff that's so good, it has the caramel, it's got some fruits on it, it's got some nuts on it. We talk about things but I think most importantly, is it good, right? If we're all sitting down in a room, regardless of our taste buds, are we gonna drink this? And the only problem we're gonna have is the bottle's gonna be empty because there's no one that want to drink this one. This is delicious stuff.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, it's a fun product, and we don't like doing things the way everybody else does them. We try to do things our own way, and I think you can look at stuff like the cold cut. We talk the talk, but we also walk the walk.
All right, I love that you said you almost led us into the next segment. So let's take a break. I want to bring up. I don't know if this one's won any awards, but I got to tell you something. I call it a kill bottle, and the secondary market's finding it, right? We're starting to see the price go up on it. Well, let's just take a break and come back, and let's talk about what I call the kill bottle, okay?
Perfect.
We'll talk in a few. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Joe.